Good morning, Year 6. So today is Tuesday, 23rd of June, and we're looking at equivalent fractions, decimals, and percentages. So our first question is, use the shaded part of 100 square to write an equivalent fraction, decimal, and percentage. So our first part, let's have a look. We've got one, we know it's 100 square, so we've got 2 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 5 there, so 25 over 100 to start with. So that's one fraction we could have. One decimal would be 0.25 and a percentage 25%. Can you think of any other decimals or fractions that you could have for 25%? Second question, convert the following decimals to their equivalent percentages and fractions. So let's have a look, equivalent percentages and fractions. So we've got the decimals, now we need to put them as a percentage first and then a fraction. So 30%, as we know that's 3/10, so it's 30%, and as a fraction is 30 over 100. Think about, can you simplify those? So straight away I can see 3 over 10, as I've divided both by 10, and that is the simplest you can get, that one. Have a go at this one then, 0.75, 75%, that as a fraction, 75 over 100. Can you simplify that? Well, I know that 75% straight away is 3/4, and that is its simplest fraction. Have a go at 0.9, see what you get. And then we'll look at today's video that will help you with the work.
Hello there, welcome back. Today we'll look at finding equivalent fractions, decimals and percentages, but let's have a quick recap before we get started. So we've got 100 square, and we can see we've got, out of the 100 squares, one is shaded. So as a decimal, we might think of that as 1/100th, or a fraction 1/100th of the square has been shaded. We could write that as 1 over 100, or 1/100th. Which you can write as decimal as 0.01, or 1 in the hundredths column. We've got 100 square now. We've got 10 shaded. So 10 out of 100 are shaded, so it would be 10 hundredths. And we can see, in our 100 square, we can get 10 lots of 10 hundredths. So therefore it would be the same as 1/10. So 10 hundredths is equivalent to 1/10, or 0.1. Now, when we think about percentages, remembering that the per means out of, and the cent means 100, so out of 100. So for example, 50 hundredths is 50 out of 100. And we could write that as 50%, which is equivalent to a half. We've got 56 hundredths here, and we want to write it as a percentage and as a decimal. So pause the video, have a think for yourself first. Let's have a look. Well, we know 56 hundredths is already out of 100. It's 56 hundredths. So we write it as 56%. And as a decimal, 5/10 and 6 hundredths is the same as 56 hundredths. So we can write that as 0.56. So 56% is the same as 0.56. So pause the video. Can you ever go converting these two that are left? Well, let's have a look at the first one. 97% is 97 out of 100, so 97 hundredths and 0.97. And then 0.33 is 33 hundredths and 33%. What about 4/5? Pause the video, have a think for yourself first. Let's have a go. So let's think about making that fraction have a denominator of 100. So in order to do that, I could multiply my denominator by a factor of 20, and my numerator by a factor of 20, which would make it equivalent to 80 hundredths. 80 hundredths is the same as 80%, and as 0.80, or just 0.8. So have a go at these. Let's have a look. Well, 0.75 is 75%. We could write that as 75 over 100. But you may have thought about, actually, well, I can find a common factor of the numerator and denominator of 25, which would make it equivalent to 3 quarters. The bottom one, 30%, 30 hundredths, and 0.30, or we could write that as 0.3. And 30 hundredths is equivalent to 3 tenths. So convert 9% and 0.3 into fractions, decimals, and percentages. So have a go for yourself first. Let's have a go. One thing to remember here is that 9% will be written as 9 hundredths. And 9 hundredths we write as 0.09. About 0.3. Well, 0.3 you could say is 3 tenths, which is equivalent to 30 hundredths. I would write that as 30%. We have a problem now then. So 4 children were completing some maths work. Put the children in order who got the most correct. So pause the video, have a go for yourself first. Let's think about converting these into fractions, decimals, and percentages. So 17 twentieths. Well, I can see if I multiply my denominator by 5, it would make it over 100, which would be 85 hundredths. And then 0.85, and then 85%. 84%, well, that's already a percentage. As a fraction, that would be 84 over 100. And then 0.84. 0.8 correct. Well, there's our decimal. We think about that 0 in there because we have, although we've got 8 tenths, we could think about that as being 80 hundredths. So that would be 80 hundredths as a fraction, and then 80%. Then 12%, incorrect, not correct, 12% incorrect, would mean that would be 88% of them were correct. So as a percentage would be 88, 80 over 100, and 0.88. So to put them in order, the person who got 88% would be first, then 17 twentieths, then 84% correct, and then finally 0.8 correct. Okay, Ron says, I'm thinking of a fraction. Can you guess what it is? Here's his clues. He says it's less than 73%. It's greater than 0.4. And it's got a denominator of 5. Can you pause the video? Can you think of what this fraction could be? Let's have a look then. Well, one of his clues was it's got a denominator of 5. Now, if I look at these fractions, one thing I know is it can't be 5/5. I know it can't be 5/5 because it's got to be less than a whole. 5/5 is equal to 100%. So it can't be 5/5. Let's convert some of these to be over 100. So 1/5 is 20 hundredths, 40 hundredths is 2/5, 3/5 is 60 over 100, and then 4/5 is 80 over 100. So then, those as percentages are quite straightforward. So it's less than 73%, so it can't be 80% or 4/5. It's greater than 0.4. Okay. Well, 20% will be 0.20 or 0.2. And the other two will be 0.4 and 0.6. So it can't be these two because they're both less or equal to 0.4. So therefore it must be 3/5. Now it's your turn. Pause the video, have a go at the worksheet if you have it, or if not, you can get the material on the BBC Bitesize website.
Okay, so have a go at the worksheet that's on the website. Also, don't forget to have a go at learning by questions.